Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating questions humanity has ever asked. Can we live on Mars? Is life on Mars really possible? Or is it just science fiction?
I know. That question has inspired countless movies, books, and late night science debates. But today, we're going to explore the real science behind it. What do we actually know about Mars? Could humans survive there one day? And what would life really look like on the red planet?
So grab your coffee or maybe a freeze dried space snack and join us as we imagine humanity's next home, Mars.
Let's start with the big question. Why Mars? Of all the planets in the solar system, why do scientists think Mars is our best shot at finding life or building a colony?
Good question. Mars is kind of like Earth's distant cousin. It has a 24.6-hour day, polar ice caps, seasons, and ancient riverbeds that show it once had liquid water. So, billions of years ago, Mars might have looked a lot like early Earth, warmer, wetter, and possibly alive.
And that's exactly what NASA's missions have been trying to prove. The rovers, Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and Perseverance have all found clues that point toward a once habitable planet. But no confirmed signs of life, yet.
It's like Mars is teasing us with hints, but never the full story. Every mission brings us a little closer to the truth.
Science Fact segment. 1. Mars is about 225 million kilometers away from Earth. A day on Mars is called a sol and lasts 24 hours and 39 minutes. NASA's Perseverance rover, launched in 2020, is searching for signs of ancient microbial life.
As fascinating as Mars is, it's also incredibly hostile. The average temperature is around minus 63 degrees Celsius, colder than Antarctica's worst winter.
And the air? Almost all carbon dioxide, about 95% to be exact. There's practically no oxygen to breathe.
Plus, the air pressure is less than 1% of Earth's. Step outside without a spacesuit and your blood would literally boil.
Not exactly the vacation of dreams, but that's also why scientists love the challenge. If humans can survive there, we can survive almost anywhere.
Exactly. Life on Mars would push our limits and prove what humans are truly capable of. Science Fact Segment 2. Mars's atmosphere is 100 times thinner than Earth's. The planet experiences dust storms that can cover the entire surface for months. The coldest recorded temperature on Mars is minus 143 degrees Celsius near the poles.
So, who's actually working to make this dream a reality? NASA, SpaceX, or both?
Both and more. NASA plans to send astronauts to Mars sometime in the 2030s, using technology tested on the Moon first. Meanwhile, SpaceX is building the Starship, a massive reusable rocket designed to carry up to 100 people at a time to Mars.
That's insane. Elon Musk even says he wants a self-sustaining city on Mars by the end of this century. Shops, schools, and maybe even little Martian neighborhoods.
Sounds wild, right? But the technology is moving fast. Reusable rockets, radiation-proof habitats, and recycling systems are already being tested. Science Fact Segment 3. The average travel time to Mars is about 7 to 9 months. SpaceX's Starship aims for full reusability to cut launch costs. NASA's Artemis missions to the Moon will test technologies for future Mars travel.
Let's talk about the essentials: food, water, and air. How would we actually survive?
NASA's already experimenting with that. The MOXIE instrument on the Perseverance rover made oxygen from the carbon dioxide in the Martian air. That's a huge step forward.
That's amazing. So in the future, astronauts could produce their own oxygen on Mars instead of bringing it from Earth.
Exactly. Water could come from underground ice or extracted from the soil. And for food, scientists are testing how to grow crops in Martian regolith simulant. Potatoes, lettuce, and radishes have all shown promise.
Wow. So the first Martian farms might actually exist in greenhouses under domes or even underground.
It sounds futuristic, but the research is already happening right now. Check this out.
Science Fact Segment 4. Moxie produced 6 grams of oxygen per hour on Mars. The Martian soil contains perchlorates, which must be removed for safe farming. Mars has polar ice caps made of frozen carbon dioxide and water ice.
Let's talk about what daily life would actually feel like. Communication, for one, wouldn't be instant. Messages between Earth and Mars can take 5 to 20 minutes each way.
That means no live phone calls or real-time video chats, just recorded messages. It would be like long-distance friendship, but in space.
Exactly. That delay could be tough emotionally. Astronauts would rely on tight-knit crews, entertainment systems, and virtual reality to stay mentally healthy.
And the environment itself could mess with your mind. You're living in small spaces, under artificial light, surrounded by red dust. NASA already studies this using Mars simulation bases on Earth.
Let's uncover some real-world experiments that are already preparing us for that future.
Science Fact Segment 5. A signal from Mars takes between 4 to 24 minutes to reach Earth, depending on distance. The HISEAS base in Hawaii simulates Martian isolation for research. Mars dust is fine like talcum powder and can damage machinery and lungs.
Okay, let's dream big. Could we actually make Mars more Earth-like someday?
That's the idea behind terraforming. Warming Mars, thickening its atmosphere, and maybe restarting its water cycle. Some scientists imagine releasing greenhouse gases or building giant space mirrors to heat the surface.
But it's not that simple, right? Mars doesn't have enough carbon dioxide to hold in heat anymore. So, turning it into a blue-green world could take centuries, maybe thousands of.
Exactly. Terraforming is a beautiful idea, but for now, we'll focus on building small, sustainable habitats instead.
Before you start packing for a new Earth on Mars, here's what the science actually says.
Science Fact Segment 6. Mars' thin atmosphere is mostly CO2 and lacks the pressure for liquid water. Terraforming Mars would require more carbon dioxide than exists on the planet. Scientists have proposed magnetic shields in orbit to restore the atmosphere.
Let's circle back to the big mystery. Was there ever life on Mars?
That's what NASA's Perseverance rover and the European ExoMars mission are trying to find out. They're drilling into rocks, looking for signs of ancient microbial life.
Imagine the moment they actually find proof. Tiny fossilized microbes. It would change how we see life in the universe.
It would mean we're not an exception, that life could appear wherever the right conditions exist.
And speaking of clues, here's what scientists have already discovered about Mars' mysterious past.
Science Fact Segment 7. Perseverance is collecting samples for a future Mars sample return mission. Evidence suggests Mars once had liquid water, lakes, and deltas. The Viking landers, 1976, were the first to test for life on Mars.
Close your eyes and imagine it's the year 2080. You wake up in a glass dome on Mars. The sky outside is orange, the horizon endless. You start your day checking oxygen levels and walk to the greenhouse to harvest crops.
Wow, that would feel surreal, knowing you're living where humans once only dreamed. But it's not impossible. Scientists believe small colonies could exist within this century.
And kids born there would be true Martians. They'd grow up under weaker gravity, see Earth as just a bright star in the night sky.
It sounds like science fiction, but here's what reality is starting to look like.
Science Fact Segment 8. Mars' gravity is 38% of Earth's, so humans would weigh less. Mars has 2 tiny moons, Phobos and Deimos. Future colonies may rely on underground habitats for protection.
But here's the moral side of it. Should we even colonize Mars? What if there's microbial life there already? Do we have the right to disturb it?
Exactly. NASA follows something called planetary protection, rules to prevent contaminating other worlds or bringing alien microbes back to Earth.
So, before we call Mars our new home, we need to decide what kind of visitors we want to be. Explorers or invaders?
Let's see how science and ethics come together in this cosmic debate.
Science Fact Segment 9. NASA's Office of Planetary Protection ensures no harmful contamination occurs. Sterilized spacecraft are required before landing on potentially habitable planets. Future Mars samples will be quarantined on Earth for safety.
At the end of the day, Mars is more than just a planet. It's a symbol of our curiosity, our courage, and our endless drive to explore.
We've crossed oceans, conquered the skies, and walked on the moon. Mars is just the next chapter in that story.
And even if we never fully live there, the journey to Mars is already changing us, pushing our technology, our imagination, and our understanding of life itself.
Because maybe life on Mars isn't just about living there, it's about learning who we are here.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you enjoyed exploring Mars with us today. If you liked this episode, don't forget to follow, rate, and share our podcast.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll record an episode live from Mars.
That would be out of this world. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep looking up.